This is the star of today's show. Yes, not less. No more. More. Okay. Like. Hi guys. So today I will be talking about 1 month post-op, 2 months post-op, and 3 months post-op. Why? Because I'm saving you so much more time than if I would have done a video for these 3 months. Is it my fault? No. It is my fault that I missed. I would have liked to do a 1 month post-op when it was 1 month post-op because you really remember what happened, so you can describe it more. But I was suffering. We are going to do 3 months post-op. My room is a mess again. We've been here. Just ignore it. We're gonna do 3 months post-op at the end, which is actually right now. Like, I am 3 months post-op. But I'm gonna first start with what you should expect with the 1st month post-op and the 2nd month post-op. Okay? I'm so excited because I feel like I needed my video. Like, I needed my own video before going into surgery. So if you're gonna have surgery and you're watching this video, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know. Because I watched every fucking video on the fucking internet about SRS, and I didn't find any videos like this one. So let's just get started. Before, I would like to say that I had some major complications, and I had, I think, 4 complications. It's a lot, but it happens, and if it doesn't happen to you, I am so happy and I am so proud of you. And why am I proud of you? It's not your fault. But I'm happy for you because having a complication is not fun. The 1st month after the surgery, I'm gonna do a video about what happens exactly in the surgery and everything, and how I felt, and my you know, I did I got the surgery video, but that was more to like explain in a brief area that I had the surgery and everything was fine. Even though I had complications, I was happy and I was fine. But I'm going to go more in depth about that. So the 1st month is the worst. I'm getting flashbacks, but the 1st month is the worst. I never in my life would have been prepared for this first month. That is a month where if you have complications, you will have complications. If you have anxiety, depression, what else? Anything that could go wrong or that could be wrong happens in the 1st month. So the 1st month is hell. The 1st month was the worst time of my life. I actually wanted to die. Why? Because the 1st month, your vajayjay is not pretty. It's not pretty at all. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it looks like a monster. Like, if I could visually explain it to you, it looks like, you know what a pomegranate is? It's like a fruit with like these little things inside. It looks like a pomegranate that they cut in half, glued on you, and like bashed it and then split it open. It looks like that. So I was taken by surprise because a lot of people on the internet were saying, oh my god, when I first saw my pussy for the first time, I was so happy. I had tears of joys. And not me. When I saw it, I literally cried for like 2 hours, and the nurse was like, it's okay, it's supposed to look like that, you're fine. Yeah, so basically, to explain the feeling you have when you see it, yes, the relief of, oh, my shrimp is finally gone is there, but you now have a new problem that you have a monster in between your legs. So that's the new problem that you're gonna have for a while, because right now it looks cute. It's swollen, but it's still, how can I say this? Well, my guy friend, I'm 3 months post-op now, and my guy friend, I showed him, and he said that he honestly couldn't tell that it was, like, my scars healed perfectly. They are almost gone. Yes, they're a little red, but from far, like from where I am and the camera is, you can like barely tell, he said. And he's seen some pussy. So that is when they told me that I had a urinal leak. I bled out the first night. Well, that was the first day. And I had an infection and a urinal infection. Now, if you get an infection, it seems like it's the end of the world and that you're gonna have to have a second surgery. You're gonna have to like scoop everything out and restart over, and you feel like it's never gonna end and you're never gonna see the light at the end of the tunnel. But it's not that big of a deal. In fact, I was surprised that when they were like, oh, you don't have an infection anymore, I was like, oh my god, really? Like, I thought it was gonna be harder than that to like make it leave. The number one tip I would have to say to you is exercise. Even though it hurts like a bitch and you will want to stay in your bed the whole time and you will not want to move a muscle, I'm saying to you, move. Because the thing I regret the most is because I stayed in my bed, the circulation in my body wasn't really circulating. So that is why I had a lot of complications. And the swelling goes down faster if you exercise. So exercising can only do you good. Not too intensely, just take a walk. Take a couple walks a day. And if you feel like you can't anymore, I remember I had this like nerve in my leg that would twitch and it hurted so much I couldn't walk for more than 5 minutes. So I would go in bed, I would get up, and then I would go outside, and then when it would start twitching, it was so painful I had to like lay down on the fucking ground, and then my parents and my sister had to like help me in my bed. That's how bad it was. So yeah, and the first month is when you go home from the hospital. Now it depends. In Canada, where I went, you stay there for 10 days, and I think that's the best option because the longer you stay in the hospital, the safer you are and the better you feel because you're surrounded by all these nurses. And when I went home after 10 days, I was so stressed and I was like, oh my god, my parents don't know anything about this. I felt like my pussy was dying because I was like, everyone... Oh my god, my friend is calling me. She is
Hey.
Hi, babe. I'm home.
Are you with somebody?
No, I'm filming.
Oh.
Guys.
Ready for something?
Guess who's on the phone, you guys? It's the bitch that got beat up on Hollywood Boulevard.
Bitch, I was
Jasleen.
at the fuck end.
And she's a transgender. Oh my god, Jasleen. What do you remember of your first month post-op?
My first month post-op, I remember every time like I would stand up, I would queef because I had so much lube inside of my hole. So like it was always open because I was always laying down dilating. So when I would stand up, it would just close and just make the weirdest fart noise.
I didn't have that.
Yes, you do.
No,
Guess what I'm getting ready for?
What?
I have an audition.
So as you guys see, it's not the same for anyone. Everyone's story is like different. Yeah, Jasleen is gorge. She's my friend. If you don't know her, her name is Jasleen White Rose. You can follow her on social media. She's a good trans advocate. Can you call that advocate? Like a social influence, a trans influencer. When you are home, you are basically panicking and you are like, so I can't imagine how it's like for people that come back 3 days after their surgery because that shit must be tough as fuck. I don't know how they do it. Now, if you leave 3 days after your surgery, you will have the P tube in your body when you leave. Now, if you went where I went and you stay there 10 days and they take care of you for 10 days before you go home, there might be a chance that you go home without the catheter, which is the P tube. I went home with the P2 because as I said, I had complications, so I had to keep it. That was really not good because, you know, there's a tube inside your body that comes out and that you pee out of. It's not, like, it doesn't sound nice, and it's not nice either. So that's how I could explain it. But I had the P-tube, and then you have to dilate. And dilation is another thing. Dilation is not something normal for you at all. You're sticking something big in yourself where that wasn't there before. You know what I mean? So it's the worst thing. It's so uncomfortable. It's so weird. And the whole process of after post-op surgery, of this surgery, the word I would choose is uncomfortable, because everything is gonna be so uncomfortable, it's gonna hurt. Like, it's not even gonna be hurting. It's gonna be uncomfortable at that point that it hurts, if that makes sense. So, my friend on the phone had much more of an easier recovery than me because she did not have any complications, I think, which I hope you have that. I hope you don't have complications, because that shit was the worst thing ever. In terms of feelings, the second month is where you start exploring your clitoris area. I'm gonna get demonetized. I just want to say that I was panicking because I didn't feel anything. It hurts, so I know that it's working, I think. I'm not gonna get anxious about it. I thought it was mandatory and that if you didn't do it, you were never gonna have feelings, and that's not the case. The reason they ask you is because it's healed. It's mostly healed for you to do that, and you can explore, but you don't have to. I didn't. I still didn't to this day, and I'm gonna wait a little longer because I don't feel comfortable yet, and that's totally fine. People take 5 months, some people take 2 months, some people on the first month feel like they can, and I don't think you should, but after the second month, you can take how much time you want. It's not important. I thought it was life or death. Oh yeah, dilation goes down to 4 times a day to 3 times a day, which sounds not that different, but it's so much more different. Like, I had no time to do anything at all. I felt like when I was finished with dilating, I would leave my bed and then I would have to get back in it to dilate again. And when it's 3 times a day, you can do more stuff in between. My schedule for dilation was, I think, right now it's because you stay 2 months on 3 times a day and 1 month on 4 times a day. So the first month it's 4 times a day, the next month is 3 times a day, and I'm soon to be on 2 times a day. So I'm excited. It's been now 2 months since I'm on 3 times a day, and it's manageable. You can do stuff. I don't think you could work if you work, because you would have to go home and dilate. And dilation doesn't sound that, it sounds hard, but it is harder in the first month, and then the second month it starts getting easier. My coochie is still really tight. It's tight as fuck. I can fit huge things inside, but I need to like work it up. I'm just getting better, but the third month is the best month by far. Obviously, I can go out. The reason I don't is because I'm in quarantine and there's a curfew, so I can't go out, which sucks because that's when I can go out. There's a curfew. But it's fine. I can sit comfortably. I couldn't sit on the second month. People around me that had the surgery at the same time as me could sit literally the month after the surgery. For me it was 2 months, and then on the third month I could sit down. This month is a big relief, honestly. It's showing me that it can happen and that I'm so strong, and then when I look back at my pictures, it's a lot cuter. My coochie is much more less swollen. It just looks like a fat pussy. You know, in porn, like you... Oh, yeah! You know what? I'm going to keep all my tips and tricks for a dilation video. I'm going to do a dilating 101 because I have all the tricks. You really are happier as time goes by, and it's incredible how much happy you are with clothes on because, you know, you see it so much that you're like, oh, I'm sick of her being swollen. I'm sick of her, the scars, like you're sick of it. And then when you put pants on, in your head, you know you have a pussy. I mean a coochie. I don't want to get demonetized, but in your head, you know that you have that. So you feel so comfortable in your own skin. And that's like, it's worth it. In my last video, I did say that if you get the surgery and you regret it, you are not trans. And I still stand by that. Some people were like, well, some people maybe are trans, but they're not ready to have the surgery. If you're trans, it means that your brain is the opposite sex of the body you were in. So the private part does not match with the brain that you have. So when you get the surgery, you should not regret it. You should be happier. So if you regret it, you're not trans. And I've seen some people that are like, oh, did you see the trans girl that detransitioned? If you detransition, you were never trans to begin with. Being trans is not a lifestyle, it's not a choice, it's something you're born with. So if someone transitions and then detransitions, they were never transgender. They thought they were, but they were not. So yeah, that is it for today's video, you guys. I love you so much, and I hope if you have any questions, comment down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and I love you guys so much. And yeah, I can't stop saying and. But I love you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye.
I have eyes everywhere, bitch.